Hi everybody, welcome to Blair's Breakdown. Before I get started, first thing, I see the comments. I know you guys are loving this, but I want to know what you want to see, okay? We're going to do this every single race, so if there's something in particular that you want to know, something that you want to see, let me know, and we'll move around this track and I'll show it to you. Tonight though, I want to start with the start, because obviously it played a big role. Colt Nichols got out front, checked out, he was gone, and Eli Tomac, not the best starter, pulled an amazing one. I want to show you kind of why it happened. I'm gonna try to get in here and get this done because they're trying to get the start out of here. So check out these ruts. First off, this is on the other side of the starting gate, right? This is like the perfect area that you want to be in. It's a straight shot at the line. The problem is look, see this hump right here? This slows the guys down. See the curve right here, how it turns? That slows the guys down. Here's another one, another hump right here. So if you have first pick on the gate, you would love to be right here because look at the shot. It's a straight shot to the first corner. That is what you want. But what do you do when you have ruts like this, you have rocks like this? You got to be creative. So some guys come in here, come far inside. These ruts are pretty good under the ladder. See how straight that is? It's kind of long. I don't really like that, but it's a straight shot. There's no bumps in it. Another one right here, pretty good ones. That's why you see guys go way inside. The problem is you're so far inside that if you do not get the jump, you just get pitched. So this is a major gamble. All right, Nichols, outside. Eli Tomac, outside. Let me show you why. Colt Nichols chose this gate. Christian Craig, Michael Mosman went way inside, left these all open right here. Nichols was looking around. He looked outside, he looked inside. He decided right here. That's a pretty good rut, right? Not too bad of a bump, pretty straight. The best thing is the box. Nobody to his right. He had a couple privateers to his left. He knows he can outpower those guys. And when he shot out, it was done. Sweeped right in, took the lead, checked out. It was because of his gate choice. If he would have took the bait and gone inside, he might have been in the chaos with everybody. Didn't work. Smart move by Nichols. Tomac. Look at this one. Nice straight line, barely any bit of a hump. And again, nothing to his left. Doesn't have to worry about these guys. Most of these guys out here, you know, didn't qualify as well, so probably not as good as starters. They're out here. Perfect move for Tomac, and that's what he's got to do. If he wants to get starts like that and be in contention early in races, he's going to have to be really smart with his gate pick because he's not the best starter consistently. So for him to go out here, pick a good rut, be with some riders that he's probably equal to, maybe better than it starts, and then have that luxury of having nobody to his left, smart decision by both those guys. But I wanted to show you those ruts and show you why it's so important to get a good heat race, qualify to the main event, because you get options. If you're 7th or 8th gate pick, you don't get the options. You end up in, that one's horrible, that one's horrible, that one's horrible. This is where you'd want to be. 8th or 9th pick on the gate, you're stuck with one of these ruts, and when you're going against Ken Rocks and Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, you ain't gonna pull it from here. So, pretty cool. There's a lot of strategy, especially on these soft tracks where there's ruts like this. It's not just about being good off this, it's about what the gate looks like out there. So Colt Nichols, Eli Tomac, good job. Well, while we make our way to the big double, I guess we'll focus on the 450 division since the big double had, well, first off, Vince Friese went down on the big double. Alex Ray landed on him and over the bars. Dylan Ferrandis went off the track on the big double and around the berm. Ken Roxon's leading the race. He goes around the berm. And when you guys see why, you're gonna have double the respect for the guys. This is, I mean, I showed you the ruts in Houston, right? Pretty bad. Nothing like this. And here's the problem. As soon as these riders think they got a line, it's gone. Because if 2 or 3 guys takes it, it folds over. Now, first off, this is insane on the far right. Like, what are you guys doing? Foot peg grabs that, game over. But look what happens right next to it. I mean, that, look, here's one. Look at that one. You think that's not going to affect you? This is insane. You see the rocks that are mixed in? Look at this one. Come over here. Come over here. Look at this is insane. Far left here, turning over to the right. Yeah, again, this is so gnarly, and if you're wondering why these incredibly talented, phenomenal athletes are flying off the track and crashing, I don't care how good you are. I mean, this is just crazy. Ken Roxon, what a fighter, man. That was a big answer back. And I'll tell you what, Tuesday in Houston, he loses 4 points. You know he's mad. Then he loses the third one because of the Dean and the Cooper thing. He was so fired up today. I mean, I saw it from press day yesterday. He was so fired up. Qualifying his heat race main event, he just fought. And again, goes off the track on this big double, gets back on. I like how he made the conscious decision to lighten up and let Eli by, because if he would have pinned it on the start straightaway, they would have busted him. I mean, if he would have pinned it by and got back in the lead, he would have got in trouble. So he made the decision to lighten up, let Eli by, and then made a great decision, get him right away. Because Eli's probably feeling like, okay, I got the lead, kind of lightens up for just a second, boom, Kenny gets him. That was a great decision on his part to lighten up and then make that move. Great ride from Eli. The podium interview, man, he said it was one of the best races of his career, and I mean, that was a fight, right? Those two just back and forth early. Eli gives it up in the beginning, Kenny gives it up, fights back. Incredible ride for both those guys. And then Cooper Webb. Now that guy fought. Look, when he doesn't get the start like that, you're kind of wondering, like, how far will he get up? And he was in that battle with Ferrandis, Savacci. God, he took 14 minutes to get by Savacci. That's what really cost him. But then he dug deep, caught up and got Adam Cincerillo there late. And you know what? Roxon, Tomac, Webb. Familiar names, right? Last 2 years in a row, it's kind of been those three at the end. I know there's a lot of guys in the class. I still think it's going to be pretty spicy, but those three are going to start breaking away. That's just what I feel. They have more tools in the toolbox than the rest of the riders, and that's why I think you're going to see more of that as it goes. And look, I mean, look what happened. Crazy night, wild stuff happened all over the place, and it's Roxon, Tomac, and Webb. So I think we should get used to that. Okay, so it's Sunday morning. Saturday night went super late. Press conference was at, I think, midnight. And we all had to get out of here. The snow came in. I could barely even get back to my hotel. So we did half the video. We're gonna do the second half now. It's Sunday morning, Lucas Oil Stadium. I mean, it's kind of weird, right? Just look at this place. This is the house that Peyton Manning built. Giant stadium, and just being in here in the middle of the day on a Sunday is pretty dang cool. Think about all the Sunday touchdown passes getting thrown in this building, but it's all about Supercross. So I got Alex with Dirtworks with me. Instead of talking about the track, because I already showed you some things, I want to talk about what you're doing now, the rebuild. I mean, okay, here's an example. Look at the starting gates. They're torn down. This is all going to the other side, correct? Yep. Some stuff will stay in place. This is staying in place? Yes. Just take me through the process, I guess. Let's start at the end of this rhythm section. You see the stakes going in. Mm-hmm. What's the process on a quick turnaround like this one? What, like a day and a half, 2 days? Yeah. What's the process?
So basically, we want, I figured some of the fans are going to be coming to all three, maybe all two, or just the first and second or whatever. So we want them to feel like they're getting a completely different track, you know? Okay. So we took the starting gate from this side of the stadium, which is actually where it was at the Indianapolis round that never happened last year, which was the first. We've never had to start on this side. And now we're flip-flopping it to the other side.
Okay, so to start straight away, that's an easy, I mean, you got a flat run up the middle, so you're just going to move it all down there.
But it's important, the angle and the spacing we do to make the start not have a gnarly pinch from this round to that round without moving the bridge.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a measurement puzzle, I guess you could say. So we did that, and we're changing certain things in certain rhythm lanes.
Yeah, this looks different too. Instead of popping up 3 on, it looks like you got the, I mean, you're trying to move their options around, right?
That's going to be the first turn, so we usually make the first obstacle just like a low roller, just to kind of not have anything big. No one trying to do something gnarly on the first lap going into the first rhythm lane. Okay. But we dug out the second half of the rhythm lane, and we're going to put some different stuff in there.
At the end there?
Yeah, it's going to open up some different options, so it's not, you don't see the same jumping pattern.
And then where are we going from there? Is it going to turn and cross?
Yeah, so it goes behind the Dunlop berm, and it's going to shoot across in front of the starting gate to the finish line. Okay. Left-hand turn, finish line, come down, and then it's that bowl turn. It's still going to be there. Same spot? Yep.
Because I know there's a lot of room after it, but that was from the start, but you're not going to go deeper there? You're going to...
No, we are. So you're going to hit the triple that they're finding right now, and then you're going to race back down to start. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're going to come across. I'm getting confused now. Go under the bridge, Dunlop lane. This is going to be whoops.
So this triple that's now a double, you're gonna flatten and build whoops before this over tunnel?
Yep, and then the second you land off of this, 90-degree right, that open space is gonna be vert wall bolt turn, link back.
Oh, so where the start was, you're gonna get a right hook and then go down and bolt turn back over.
Yes, yep.
And is there gonna be any, because this looks like the first turn area, so is that flat?
Whatever this distance we have in there, we can only build like 3 jumps,
like a little something.
Bolt turn, so.
Okay.
So it's going to use up a little more floor space. The reason why there was some dead space back there, I always see some comments asking about that. Why is because if we were to push that bolt turn back, the track would be extremely narrow, and when you're on the inside gate and you look forward, you basically would see like the back of a bolt turn.
I see.
That pinch point in the start is
that makes sense. Question for you on track design. I noticed last night everything seemed peakier. There's a lot of these big doubles, and I talked to some of the crew. They said you're trying to slow these lap times down the best you can. I mean, you're dealing with the floor space, and the point that I made is these guys are so fast. They're figuring obstacles out. I mean, are you just trying to find any way to get another second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds? Because these guys seem to find ways to get into the low 40s, but it looks like you're trying to get up into those high 40s, maybe get into the 50s if you can.
Yeah, so definitely try and make the lap times as long as possible, I would say, without having some crazy sacrifice to ruin a section
or ruin the track because you want to.
Yeah, so we're balancing that off, but at the same time, it's like this dirt is like so much topsoil. There's like no clay in it, so it doesn't really compact.
I noticed that. It just like no matter what you did, it seemed to kind of just fluff up at the top.
Again, with that combination, it's like if you lay things down, the track's going to be faster, and faster sometimes is dangerous. You make things steep. Sometimes that's dangerous too. Because the ruts will come out of the bottoms of them. More, push into the faces, so then the ruts transitions get cupped out. So trying to find that happy medium, but how the track develops throughout the night, I mean,
it's
there's
up to
only so much you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
This big mound of dirt, I mean, is the theory here, you just start pushing everything there, and then do you guys just start grabbing what you need for places, or is that going there because specifically something big is going to be nearby? Yeah, so we have to, with the things that we were changing, we have to create, a path to get there. So certain things we have to dig out, some things we can leave, but for the most part, we just, everything that we're changing, we just throw right back to the center, remeasure our lanes, and then throw it right and then
back.
Go grab what you need. Use a loader for that to get your big scoops. Yeah, a lot of people in the comments always ask, why don't we just dump trucks where the jumps got to go and then carve it in with the dozer? It's actually faster for us to just put in a pile. Have just all the dump trucks just dump in the middle. It's pretty brainless work for the drivers, and then we can just put it in the right way with the loader, and then it's easier work for the dozer, so it actually saves time in the long run. Okay, last decision, because this involves me. I know you guys get mad at me when I try to do my track reports for TV. Yeah. Oh yeah, hear him. Oh yeah, I get texts all the time. Like, what are you doing out there? When you have these little minutes of time to prep in between an LCQ or where do you decide where to go? Because you don't get it all. It always ends up being where you're standing. That's because I go to the good stuff. I mean, come on. But is it jump faces? Is that the most important thing? Yeah, so, like, for example, the first Indy last night, like, the double was priority. The finish line face, if it was bad, and then the transitions in the big rhythm lanes. The one long one, right? Yeah, and that's, like, always safety priority, but we try and sneak a bolt turn or two in if there's time, because it's nice when the bolt turn's somewhat smooth and it's a spot to come across to make a pass versus if it's just straight rutted. And it's going to get there eventually, but if you could get at least the first half of a main event opened up before it settles into the line, so. Yeah, but that's always secondary. Okay, well, my bad. I go to the gnarly stuff, and then you guys always want to fix it, and I'm standing there trying to do my job. I mean, we got to work together. Yeah. I think we're getting a rhythm now. I got your phone number now. So. I know. I blocked you. Don't go here. I blocked you, and then I unblock it after the races are over. So, all right. Well, thank you for the time, and we'll catch you after Tuesdays, and we'll find some more stuff. I got the comment section going. I asked everybody to ask what they want to see. Right. So I'll be ready for some more stuff Tuesday. Sounds good. Okay. So 250 class. Let's just breeze through the stuff that is less dramatic. Colt Nichols, whole shot, gone. Points leader, 2-time winner, only rider on the podium every single race. They're in trouble, big trouble. And the main reason is because it's turning into a 2 to 3 rider battle. Mosman's getting in there now a little bit. So, and Shimoda obviously got a podium, but he's not satisfied. I loved his interview. I love Joe Shimoda. But Colt Nichols is just finding his groove. And the thing is, we're going to be done with this run of the East Coast like in a week and a half. And he's just on fire. And if he could just boom, boom, boom. I mean, he could be 15 to 20 up, you know, like very quickly. He's taking care of business in every single way. I want to talk about the Craig Lawrence deal. I always take this take. I don't know if it's just the way I view things or what, but I always feel bad for the villain because Christian didn't mean to put them both down. I've already seen people hitting him hard, like, how could you do that? That is dirty. Go watch the recap. He gasses it, hits a little braking bump, pops the rear wheel up so he can't brake as quick as he wants. And then he is on both brakes trying to stop. So again, similar to the Hampshire-Faulkner deal, similar to the Wilson deal. If the intent isn't there, I side with the guy who made a mistake and I give him a pass. Christian is not a dirty rider. He didn't try to put down the kid. He made a mistake. He got a little too aggressive, couldn't stop, put him down. And again, I feel bad because I feel like he's getting hit way too hard for another racing incident. He was trying to block with 2 corners to go. You think he wants this kid passing him on the last lap in the 2 corners? No, he doesn't. So he tried to block him, made a mistake, put them both down. And if you listen to the way Jet responded with his podium interview, he wasn't mad about it. He wasn't all hot and bothered. Look, when you're battling on the last lap, things happen. And unfortunately for Craig, he's the villain this week. And it's not fair in my opinion. Go watch it back. Back tire's up in the air. He tries to brake. He made a mistake. And without the intent there, I give him a pass. That's just me. Everyone can make their own decision, but that's just me. Now the Mosman-Lawrence thing. This is really cool. And I like the way both riders handled it because Jet gave it to him in Houston. No question, gave it to him. Mosman comes back, and I saw in that first lap, I knew, I just didn't know which berm, but I knew it was going to come. Mosman was locked in, and he did the exact same thing, maybe even a little bit lighter. He came up the inside, gave him a little push, barely touched him, and Lawrence fell. I asked him on the podium, you guys even? I'd say so, I'd say so. And then in the press conference, they talked about they bump fists, they're all cool. And I love it because, look, do you guys want this thing to be boring? Do you want no aggressive racing? Do you want everyone to be nice and all hug each other before and after races? I don't. I want to see that kind of stuff. And as long as they have respect for each other and they understand that it's just racing and both get it, I love it. So that's my opinion on them. I feel like Jet gave him some, Mosman gave him some back. Now even. Now go and race and battle it out. I mean, that's the sport. So really happy with the way both those riders handled it. Mosman had a reason to be bent. Jet obviously probably had a reason to be bent, but they both handled it so well. So kudos to them. Last thing I do want to say, Joe Shimoda, his podium interview was awesome. He got a podium and didn't even want to accept it. He was like, yeah, I love the place, but I'm better than this. I know I'm more than this. And I'm so impressed with that kid. He's just a rock. He's so solid and he just keeps chipping away. And my opinion is I think over the next few races, we might see a Joe Shimoda podium his way, which is an earned way. So congratulations to Colt, congratulations to Michael Mosman, and congratulations to Joe Shimoda. And thank you, Jet Lawrence and Christian Craig, for entertaining us, because that's why we tune in, right? We don't tune in to watch these guys circle around like ballerinas. We want to see things happen, and that's just my opinion, but I think a lot of you are with me. So good job, everybody. Thanks for the show, or thanks for tuning into the show, and we'll be back with you after Tuesday's race. Leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see, and I'll go find it on Tuesday. Thanks.